Hey there, it's Mandy Bresser from Streamline for Success, and in this video we're going to cover off if you are an Infusionsoft user and you want to know how to identify your engaged and your unengaged portion of your list so you can send more effectively to these groups to boost your email deliverability. Alright, so let's get started. Hey there, it's Mandy again from Streamline for Success. Thanks for joining, and this is a really great video for Infusionsoft by Keep users, in particular if you want to be able to identify who on your list is engaged, who's unengaged, so that you can send to those portions of your list and communicate to them differently depending on that engagement status. So what you firstly want to do is head to the My Navigation, and under marketing, you want to select the option called reports. Now, if you haven't got this saved as a report yet, we're going to do that today for you because this is really important. And I strongly encourage you to set up this save search so you can easily find them again. But also, you want to regularly do this report. So I'll talk about that towards the end as well. So scroll down under the marketing options and you've got a particular report here called email status search. So you want to go ahead and select that. Now this is really targeting and looking at any contacts on your list who have an email address. Now it's very important to highlight that an email can be stored not only in an email one field. Let me just pull up a contact record here. So in this field here, but an email can also be stored, let's go additional information, here, or maybe on a custom field. So that's something to keep in mind. I'm really talking about 99% of the businesses who use email one as their main way in which you communicate to your clients. So just want to flag that from the start because this report will actually pull up any email on a contact, which could mean that some have multiple entries here. So just want to sort of keep that in mind. If you want some further information about how to kind of look at that, if you're sort of sending to different email addresses on a contact record, please reach out to me. But I want to cover really the 99% of people who is just sending to this email one field. All right, so in here you'll see there's 18 results. So again, that may not match up to your entire database. This is a dummy one that we use, but it's really going to highlight any contacts that you've got an email in a particular field on that contact record. So what you want to do here is go to the edit criterion columns, and how we define our engaged audience is anyone who has the email status unengaged, confirmed, or confirmed. Now that's what we particularly use. You may want to look at some other ones like soft bounce. We typically don't, but you know that can be up to you. Now, if you were setting this up really to be able to send your broadcast to this group, you may want to actually have a look at, I think it's miscellaneous, putting your tag here that indicates your broadcast group. So you may have one specific tag, you may have a couple that you use to do your contact search of your entire database to identify these are the people that I kind of want to communicate to. So you can also add that in there. So once you've got that selected, go ahead and go OK. And this is our dummy account, so you can see here there's not a lot going on. But what I would encourage you to do at this point is go ahead and save this particular report. And if this needs everyone on your team to have a look at it, then you certainly can, or particular people, you can change that there. Now, I'm just going to call it our broadcast engaged group. I'm not going to get fancy with the title. Now, you may want to split this down further. I know we've got different segments of our list that we send to. So we've got broadcast engaged, and then we've got the kind of the segmentation. So like Infusionsoft user or something like that. So be really mindful. Hopefully you've got some great segmentation on your list. But at a minimum, kind of just identify who your engaged group that you want to send your broadcast out to. So I'm going to save that. So next time you come in here, you don't have to set up that criteria again, right? You can just select from there. All right, let's go ahead and let's do a new search. and let's look at unengaged marketable. So these are the people we can still send to and they haven't opted out or anything like that. And again, if you want to have the same criteria that you used before, if you did include an extra tag to pick up your broadcast list, if you're not emailing your entire list, then you can do that here, or any other segmentation tags that you want to put in place. So let's get unengaged marketable. Let's go ahead and search. So let's save that here, and I want everyone to see it. Oops. And I'm going to broadcast unengaged. So next time when you come in, you can go under My Navigation, under Marketing Reports. And then if you scroll down, you can just go Save Reports, and there's a bunch of random ones that we've set up over the years. But you can just select the specific one that you want to run here. Now this data is dynamic. So when you run it today, you're going to get the results as at today. If you run it tomorrow, you're going to get different results, right? Because people, you probably sent something out, other people have signed up for your list, some people have opted out, etc., etc. So what I would recommend, unless you're using a third-party tool, is I would recommend on a regular basis that you export this list so that you have an idea about what was it like at that particular point in time. And particularly if you're going to start this approach and send two different emails, broadcast to these two different groups, then what I would suggest that you do is really export this now, which you can easily go here and go Actions, Export, and same with the other one, so that you get a snapshot in time that you know what it was like before you started implementing this strategy. That's really important because you want to make sure it's actually getting the results that you want and moving more people from that unengaged group into your engaged group. That's really, really important to do that. So make sure you start tracking that. Now, I would do that on a regular basis. So we do it we were doing it on a fortnightly basis, and we probably will still continue to do it fortnightly. But some of you are sending a lot more emails than what we are. So you might want to do it on a weekly basis and start understanding that trend. Some of you, monthly is going to be fine. But as I said, this data is going to continue to be dynamic and updated constantly. So you can't go back in time and run a report. What did our engaged list, how many people did we have on our engaged list back 12 months ago? You can't do that. So highly recommend that you do that. So let's just say now we want to go ahead and send to this group of people. Now, what I would recommend you do is go in here. Actually, this is not a great example. Let's go back here. And it is a little bit of an extra step right now. Unfortunately, this save search cannot be picked up from sending a broadcast. So let me just open that up. Let's go here. We can just use one of these. No doubt you've got your own templates set up there, which is fine. All right, so I can't go broadcast engaged, right? It doesn't pick up that particular save search. So it is a little bit of an extra step, unfortunately, when you have to send out a broadcast. So we go in here and we just select everyone from that group, go Actions, apply a tag, and I'll set up a new tag, broadcast, and I'll put in the year, the month, the day, and then the topic. So something like that. And then I'll put engage. Oh, this was unengaged. Unengaged. And I'll put that into our nurture and go ahead and create that tag. So that tag, if I could spell, so that tag would get applied to all of them, and you apply the same logic, right, to the engaged group. So let's go ahead and save that and process that action. So when you go in here next time, now it's going to take a minute to get started, but that's okay. Let's just refresh and make sure that's actioning. Okay, great. So let's go in here again and pick up another email. And up here, I want to select the broadcast. Yeah, there we go. That's the group I want to target. And as I said, it is a little bit of an extra step to do, but I think it's very much worth it, so that you can really target those two lists differently. So I'll send one here, and then I'll go and send another one. So you may want to test it out, use different subject lines. I wouldn't change the copy of it too much, but depending on what you want to test out. And also send them at different times, ideally, just to see, not confuse the email servers, but just to kind of distinguish between the two sends. So I'll typically send out the engaged email first, and then send out the unengaged email second. So once you've got that, I would save, before I sent this out, I would save this as a template, the email, so that next time I go in, I can just pick up that template for the other group that I'm sending through to. So I just want to go back in here, under marketing reports. I'm going to go ahead and pick up my saved engaged group. And then I will do actions. Oops, apply a tag, and I'll follow that same process, set up a new tag to split out that group, which I think is fairly self-explanatory. So look, that's pretty much it. We track all of our stats on our sends, so we are constantly monitoring this to make sure we're getting the result that we're looking for, and the fact that our open rates for our unengaged lists have improved, and we've moved a bunch of people from our unengaged to our engaged list really does help to justify that this is really working for us. And you don't really see it on this test account, but you know it's a big deal, and it does kind of transition people. You can see when it happens and a send occurs that it's moving people from this unengaged to the engaged report. So look, I hope that's been helpful for you. I'm sure there's a few different ways in which you can achieve this. As I said, there's some other tools out there that you can have a look at, and to help you kind of monitor these lists, and also helping get your engagement improved and better, and cleaning up your list. I mean, we can certainly talk a lot more about that. If you need further help with any of that, please reach out. Happy to help, because really there's so many things that impact email engagement right now, and this is just one thing that you can do out of a huge list of things. So I hope you found this helpful. If you've got any questions, comments, let me know. Share your results. As I said, I love hearing from clients and businesses out there who are applying this in their business, and hearing what their results are and how they're communicating with them differently depending on if they're engaged or unengaged, and how their engaged list is actually growing, which is fantastic and what we ultimately want. All right, it's Mandy Brasser here from Streamline for Success. I really hope this video has been helpful. Please, if you want some more resources, there'll be some links under the video here. Otherwise, I'll chat to you soon. Thanks.